Morning all. Alright, so we just have 3 games tonight in the National Hockey League, so the preview and the news video go together. So we have 2 games starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, 1 starting a couple hours later. Now, there's a Christmas party my wife's going to. She would like me to go along with her, so how much of the hockey I watch tonight is yet to be determined. So 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between St. Louis and Columbus. This is the first of 2 meetings between these teams. They'll meet again in St. Louis on January the 30th. St. Louis is 13-11-1 overall. Their last 10 games are 5-5. Jordan Kyrou, 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points. Strong run recently for Kyrou. And on the Columbus side, they're 8-15-5. They're 4-5-1 over their last 10. Fantilli, good in their last game. 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points now for Fantilli. So the Rookie of the Year, it's Bedard. But there are some guys having really good rookie years who aren't named Bedard as well. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Pittsburgh and Florida. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again January 26th as well as February 14th. The Pittsburgh Penguins, 11-11-3. They're 3-4-3 over their last 10. And, of course, the big question mark with them, the power play. Does it get going tonight against Florida? Crosby, 15 goals, 12 assists, 27 points. Continues to be a point producer, but they're going to need something on the power play soon. Florida's 15-8-2 overall. 5-4-1 over their last 10. Carter Verhaeghe, 12 goals, 9 assists, 21 points. He's been hot lately, so we'll see how he does tonight. Then at 9 Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, the Minnesota Wild. Second half of a back-to-back here. They're in Edmonton tonight. Minnesota, 9-11-4. And they won the first meeting between these two teams on October the 24th by a score of 7-4. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10. Last night's loss to Vancouver, the first one since John Hines took over. Rossi, 8 goals, 7 assists, 15 points for him. Really strong season for Marco Rossi. On the Edmonton side, they're 10-12-1. They're 7-3 over their last 10. They've won 5 in a row. They're trying to make it 6. McDavid, 8 goals, 24 assists, 32 points. He has been red hot lately, making up for some lost time. So they'll meet again on February 23rd. The Oilers try to even the season series tonight. So, news of the day for all you fine people on the internet. So Woll left the game last night. It didn't look good, and he left the building on crutches. So he'll be out for a period of time that'll be determined sometime later today in all likelihood. But it looks like they're going to be leaning on Jones and Samsonov. The good news is this. Jones is an experienced goaltender, and he wins games. I talked about this a lot last season with Seattle. His numbers weren't necessarily great, but the team really played well in front of him. So we'll see if that's the case with Toronto as well. But, if they're without Woll for a while, this is why you have to have 3 goaltenders. This is why it's good to have Martin Jones in your system. So, smart move by Brad Treliving, having 3 NHL-level goaltenders in his organization. Connor Hellebuyck last night reached 250 wins with that very impressive win over the Colorado Avalanche. I think Winnipeg last night showed that they can beat the upper echelon teams in the NHL. They should not be underestimated, and they're a dangerous team. So Hellebuyck definitely playing better has helped, but there's a lot of players in Winnipeg right now who are playing quite well. Ovechkin, of course, last night reached 1,500 points. He got the assist on the 100th goal in the career of Dylan Strome. Ovechkin is 16th all-time with 1,500 points. Ahead of him at 15th is that Sidney Crosby player I mentioned earlier. And so, Ovechkin, 16th on the all-time list for points. Not much else to say really other than we did expect more goals so far this year, but he has at least reached 1,500 points. Good news for Buffalo fans, Jack Quinn. He's in a regular jersey at practice. So Quinn has to be very close, if not ready to be activated off the injured reserve for their next game. They've missed Quinn. I think that for Buffalo, they need to get things rolling. Maybe last night's win over Boston's a sign they're ready to get rolling. Maybe it's a sign that Boston's been, just meandering lately. Whatever it is, getting Quinn back should help the Buffalo Sabres. So Ethan Bear's name has been out there a lot. It sounds like he is close to being 100% healthy and ready to sign. And it looks like Toronto and Vancouver are 2 of the front runners in order to get his services. I know Canuck fans mostly, appreciative of the idea of him coming back, but we'll see where Bear ends up and what his cap hit ends up looking like. I would think there'll be a number of suitors. It's kind of the perfect time if you're ready to say, all right, I'm ready to come in, because a lot of teams dealing with injuries, and especially when it comes to defense, there are a lot of teams that need to shore up the defense. Now, if your team's looking for another forward, a guy who might have some potential to score, Jesse Puljujarvi, 25 years of age, is cleared for full contact training, so he is about ready to be signed by an NHL team as well, should that happen. He had bilateral hip resurfacing, so that's the red flag there, is hip resurfacing, which can lead to issues with mobility for a player, right? So I'm sure teams will want to do their due diligence before signing him, but he will attract some attention. He was a top draft pick when he was drafted. He's 25 years of age. There's still potential there. And I think that somebody will probably throw him some sort of contract, whether it's a tryout at the NHL level or maybe an AHL team signs him, with the NHL team keeping an eye on it. Sort of similar to like Kiwi Ronta with Colorado, that kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see where Puljujarvi ends up or what ends up happening. Maybe he ends up playing in Europe, but either way, hopefully he's able to continue his career and find some success. So as I was putting this together, the NHL's Department of Player Safety announced a couple of fines, which means, again, if you wanted a suspension for these plays, you're not going to be happy. And if you didn't think it was a big deal, you're not going to be happy either. And if you want to see players get fined a significant amount, you're following the wrong league. Brendan Smith fined for a trip on Devon's Shore last night. I know that Smith ended up being benched for a while after taking a penalty in the third period. So, it's not something, his play last night wasn't something Lindy Ruff was all that happy with either, but he gets a fine. And Austin Watson was fined. I was interested to see what would happen there. You blast a puck at the horn. He's not the first player to do it, but it's unusual to smack somebody of the opposing team with that puck, with that shot. I don't think there was intent there. Austin Watson was fined for unsportsmanlike conduct, so that's referring to the shot, which hit Lauzon. He said after the game that he tried to contact Lauzon to make sure he was okay. Notice tried. So my guess is he tried, and maybe Nashville players were there like, no, this isn't the time, or somebody just headed him off. But either way, I don't think there was any intent there. But yeah, so there you go. You guys are caught up for now. It is Friday. There are often news dumps that happen on Fridays, and that happens with sports too. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about any of the items on the board. And as always, let me know your picks for tonight's game in the comment section below. You'll notice that when it's fewer games being played, I don't worry about wearing a jersey for any of the teams that are playing that night. So at any rate, if I had to make a pick, though, because I know there's people who, what would your picks be? I do like, of the three games, I think Florida has a good chance of probably taking Pittsburgh in regulation. That being said, Pittsburgh can be very unpredictable, so we'll see. But let me know your thoughts and your picks. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you have not done so already, because then I can tell and it kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. But thanks again for all your support. It means a lot. I will talk to you again soon.